Quick start guide for the Dragon Touch Vision 3. Take it out of the box, get a remote control with it, and a box full of cat toys. Look at that. What do you think of that? Oh, well, she doesn't really care about them. Get a cable and a couple of batteries. And they start out with red light, and you leave them on the charger until you get blue lights. Then you can pull one out. Yeah, you can do it with one hand. Maybe she is interested. She just doesn't like anybody watching. If you're like me, you want to put the battery in next, but you got to take it out of the case first. Let's get that off of there. Pull this back. See how it comes loose? It goes on, comes loose. Open that up. And get it out of here. This drops right out. And try not to put your fingerprints on here, because that's where the lens is filming through here. And there's another one of these things on the lens here that's got to come off. But I'm not going to take it off yet because I don't want to get fingerprints on it while I'm putting the battery in. Same thing with this one on the back screen. So let's just get this loose here. So it's got a tab right there. There we go. Got under it with my fingernail, but if you can't do it with a fingernail, maybe a toothpick or a tiny screwdriver. Set that right there. Don't lose that. Battery, I don't know if you can see down there, but there's 3 metal tangs on this side towards the back of the camera. And there's the 3 metal tangs. So they go in this corner right here. Push that down in there. And you've got a little fold tab. Don't fold it to the front because it'll get in the way. Fold it to the back. And you see where it's got that slit right there? That goes over here. Put this part in first towards the edge. Make sure that's folded back. It keeps trying to go forward. I don't know if you can see that. That little tab keeps trying to go forward. It needs to go back. And there. That way, when you open this up next, it'll try to spring forward. You can grab it and pull the battery out. There's the on button right here. There's where the charge cable can go if you want to charge it while the battery is still in the machine. And I'm going to get the little SD card and put it in here. Got a good quality SanDisk screen. I think 64 gigabytes is the biggest one you can put in here, so that's what I've got. And it should go in this way, but I'll see if I'm wrong. Yep, I was right. It goes right in that direction. And there we go. It needs to be flush with the edge like that. Push it with your fingernail and it should pop up. Come on now, don't make a liar out of me. Pop up out of there. There we go. I wasn't pushing it in far enough. See how it's popped up a little bit? You can grab it and pull it out. Put it in a card reader, read the stuff, or leave it in there and connect a cable with USB on the other end to connect to your computer. Reading stuff off. We should be ready to turn on now. Try pressing this again. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I didn't press the power button long enough. Alright, it wants me to format the card. Okay, by pressing this power or mode button repeatedly, we can go through the different modes. Starting with turning it on, of course. And then it's record mode, also known as video mode, which is what it starts up in. Second time you click it, it goes to photo mode. Wait a minute. Video mode, photo mode, slow motion mode, which is where you can record in like 720p. You see it says 720p, 120 feet per second. That's so that you're recording at 120 feet per second. You may only get 720p, but the 120 frames per second, I don't know why I said feet per second, but the frames per second allows you to, if you even go down to 1/4 speed, you're still going to have at least 30 frames per second. Next time you touch it, it's going to be playback mode. You can see the little play button right there on the screen. If you want it to actually play, you hit this OK button on the top, and it'll play your last recorded video. The next time you hit the mode button on the front, it goes to settings. Once you've got it to settings, you can press this OK button on the top to go into the settings. Then you can press these buttons on the side, the down or the up button, to make it scroll down or up. If you get to something you want to look at, like the slow motion mode, press this OK button at the top and then go explore. It gives you a setting for the slow motion of 1080p at 60 frames per second, which means you can record in 1080p, whatever motion you want. And if you want to slow it down later, if you slow it down to half speed, you're still going to have 30 frames per second at 1080. If you record it in the default setting of 720p at 120 feet per second, then cut it down to half speed, you're going to have 60 frames per second at only 780p. So you get the idea. I'm going to leave that at 720p 120 in case I film like a car driving by or something. I want to film in as many frames per second as I can so I can slow it way down. I'll do a couple experiments with this, but I'm pretty sure even at 720p at 120 frames per second, if you go down to like 1/4 speed, it's still going to give that silky smooth looking slow-mo type deal. You also have here loop recording if you want to use it like a dash cam in the car or on the car or on a helmet or something like that, and you want it to just loop record like a dash cam does. Recording sound is on by default, but you can turn that off if you don't want to record sound. Image stabilization is apparently off. I will want that on. So I'm going to press the button on the top, turn it on. Now with image stabilization on, you need to keep in mind that you should film a little further back than what you think you should, because if you get a little distance between you and what you're filming, and then the image stabilization crops it in a little bit to stabilize it, then you should be at about where you'd want to be. If you film too close and you use image stabilization, then when it crops in, you might lose a little bit of your subject matter. What do you think, Tigger? Are we filming too close? Are we filming too close? Yeah. If you got this because you want to do time-lapse videos, on the settings, you can hit the button here, and then from the sides, go down and down to time-lapse. Then select that. Then you can choose, what is that, half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or is it 3? No, that's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So there's quite a range there from half a second all the way up to 60 seconds. So that's a lot of different things you could time lapse with that many choices. Of course, it comes with all these fancy adapters. You can attach it to everything from handlebars to fence posts or whatever you want, and other things you can attach it. There's even a belt clip in here. Other things you can attach it to, a shoe for the camera tripod. That's, you can attach the shoe for camera tripod, and then you can attach something else over here. That's really neat, because you can put this strap on it that comes with it, and this came with it. Put that on your wrist like a watch. Bring it around. Slide that through there. And that through there. Put your Dragon Touch Vision 3 on a tripod, and then take selfies from a distance, because you've got the camera here and you got the video thing here. So you could do interviews or selfies or whatever you want in front of the camera with a distance, never have to touch the camera. So that right there, with this right here, solves the problem of going on vacation, going visiting places, going to car shows, and getting selfies of you and the wifey with the cool cars and with the animals at the zoo and wherever else you're going. And then that little dealio right there allows you to get underwater shots. So pretty amazing for the price. And I'll do have other videos, and I'll have some future videos with this. And I'll put the links to those in the description of this video, and links to where you can purchase this in the description of the video as well. So I hope you like that, and I think it's Shopcat approved. Is it Shopcat approved? What do you think? Well, if she's got an opinion, she's not sharing it.